Jamaican dancehall artist turned gospel artist Marion Hall, formerly known by the stage name Lady Saw, was born July 12, 1969 in Galina, St. Mary, Jamaica. She, as well as her siblings, began singing at their Seventh-day Adventist church, where she blew everyone away with her powerful voice. It's also where she was baptized. But close to their house, there was a dance hall venue where the music was always being played. She and her older sister would sneak in after her father had left the house to go night fishing for work. He was also a farmer, a painter, and a bunch of other things, a jack of all trades, if you will, to provide for his large family. However, he never spared the rod when it came to his children or his wife. Even though she grew up in the church, Marion would end up leaving it, as well as the countryside, going back and forth to the capital, Kingston, with her mother, who was constantly on the run from her abusive husband. Around the age of 13 or 14 was when she really figured out she had a special musical talent. She'd write songs, put them away, then, weeks later, without having looked at them, still remember them. A couple years later, she became a regular in the studio after quitting her sewing job at the Free Zone on the outskirts of Kingston. She began performing with local sound systems, a group of disc jockeys, engineers, and MCs playing ska, rocksteady, or reggae music, and is an important part of Jamaican culture and history. After honing her skills, she joined famed sound system Stereo One. In 1987, she took the name Lady Saw, after Jamaican dancehall icon Tenor Saw, who inspired her music. While when she first started out and stuck to clean songs, she quickly realized that continuing on that route wasn't going to garner her the success she was after, so she decided to pivot and get raw and raunchy. Lady Saw's performances brought her to the attention of several record producers, and she began recording. Her song, Love Me or Left Me, for Capricorn International was the first one that ultimately got some traction on the airwaves. She followed up with Half and Half Love Affair for New Name music label. Finally, her next song, called If Him Left, would be the one to really cause her career to take off. After her success on Jamaican radio, she signed with VP Records, an independent Caribbean-owned record label in Queens, New York, and began recording her first studio album. In 1994, Lady Saw released her debut album, titled Lover Girl. It includes the hits Stab Out the Meat and Find a Good Man, her first song to go #1 in Jamaica.
Look, no pretty boy or no bad man. All I'm searching for is a loving husband.
Years later, she was very candid with her answer to the question of why she wanted a career in music.
I wanted to get started in music because I was always broke. Want money, want the good life, and I knew that the good life, like music can give you anything you want once you have the talent. So I knew I had that talent, and the way I grew up, I was poor, so I wanted to be famous, wanted to buy all these houses and make my family and I live comfortably,
Sadly, another reason, which she's been quite open talking about, was to get away from a couple of men in her social circle who had sexually assaulted her. Lady Saw released her second album, Give Me the Reason, in 1996. It became known for its explicit sexual lyrics, clearly evident in just the song titles, including the singles Life Without Dick and Condoms. Since there were very few female DJs in dancehall, and even fewer doing slackness that matched the men, there was a lot of ridicule, which she blames on double standards and hypocrisy. She told The Believer magazine in 2010, "The boys were doing it and people wouldn't say anything, but when I came out, all kinds of people were saying, she's too rude, she's raunchy, she's too X-rated. There was a time when they said they didn't want me to perform in Montego Bay. The mayor there tried to get me banned. But he was just a damn drunk anyway, so what kind of example was he setting? But I had a lot of fans who said, hell no, he can't tell her she can't perform here." Big controversy. The following year, Lady Saw released Passion. The album would be her first to chart on the US Billboard Top Reggae Albums chart at #8. It features the hit singles Healing featuring Beanie Man and Sycamore Tree. She continued her role with 1998's 99 Ways, which charted at #10 on the Top Reggae Albums chart. Lady Saw then scored a major hit the following year with a feature on American pop singer Vitamin C's hit Smile, which peaked at #18 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went gold. 3 years later, she'd have even greater international success when she collaborated with pop rock band No Doubt on the single Underneath It All, which eventually went triple platinum. It peaked at number 3 on the Hot 100 and won a Grammy for Best Performance by a Duo or Group. Over the next decade, Lady Saw would release 4 more albums and collect a bunch more hits on 2004's Striptease, 2007's Walkout, 2010's My Way, and 2014's Alter Ego. In 2010, she formed her own label, Divas Records, which released her My Way and Alter Ego albums. In addition to her studio albums, she's also released several EPs, Two Man in 2012, Bun Fi Bun in 2013, and Lady Saw Special Edition in 2015. Then Lady Saw would end that year in such a shocking fashion that it would change not only the trajectory of her career, but also her entire life. Although she'd been toying with the idea for years, she officially threw in her dancehall towel and answered to God's calling. On December 14, 2015, Lady Saw underwent a Christian baptism. She told the Jamaica Gleaner that not only did she receive the calling to do it at Jamaican reggae star Jay Capri's funeral, who died 2 weeks after a tragic car crash at age 23, but she got it done that same day. She also made apologies to some of the people she's had a rocky relationship with in the past that were also in attendance at the funeral.
I was at the church and I heard that Spice and Tifa was there. One was upstairs, one was at the back. So I was thinking how we live, you know, that we have to be separated like that. But then I said, God, me can't stay around them people, I know me, I leave. And the voice said, forgive them and love them.
Okay, so it was forgiveness that you were asking for, and not so much that you felt that you did anything to them that deserve an apology.
Right, I was saying that to God.
Because Spice is asking about, she's confused about your
She's
apology.
not confused, that's her. She's just plain fool to catch wise. I'm not apologizing for me. In my world, I wouldn't be apologizing over there. Oh. But the Lord tell me to love them and forgive them and also ask for their forgiveness. You know what he's talking about? Me and Spice have been cussing each other on Facebook, on Twitter. The most nasty things were said between her and I. So God didn't see, like, I'm not innocent. She said something, I said something that might have offended her. She offended me, so God said, ask for forgiveness and forgive.
Okay.
And my pride is nowhere in there because God is dealing with it. Tifa, I don't even know what happened with her, why we become enemies. You know, it has to do with my ex getting a girl pregnant by the name of Trisha, not Tifa. And even when she knew, she didn't say anything. I'm good with that. God said apologize. Maka, me and her, same war business. So me apologize and me beg for forgiveness and ask for their forgiveness. If they don't want to forgive me, it's fine. I forgive you all because I'm a new woman and I'm right with God and God accept all that. You know what I say?
The 3 women that she mentioned are also prominent figures on the Jamaican music scene. Latifah Brown, better known as Tifa, Grace Hamilton, better known as Spice, and Charmaine Monroe, better known as Macka Diamond. Lady Saw's had major beef with them, as well as others, for years throughout her career. After that, she announced she would no longer identify as Lady Saw, but as Minister Marion Hall, or simply Marion Hall. She declared she would not perform her past hits, but would start a new career in gospel music. The following year, she released her first gospel album titled When God Speaks, followed by 2018's His Grace. In the spring of 2020, Marion reported that she was denied a United States O1 visa, which she previously qualified for as a dancehall superstar. In a video posted to social media, she said she believes she got the visa previously because of her Lady Saw persona. Since this type of visa is given to highly recognized people, like celebrities, she claimed that she received a denial letter blatantly telling her that because she's a gospel artist now, they don't see her as that person with status. According to her manager, the visa issues began 2 years prior, after her green card was disqualified. Even though the O1 visa was denied, Marion said she can still travel to the US using her B1 visa, and ended the video asserting that the issue is in the hands of God. When asked in a 2021 interview what her biggest challenge was coming up in the music industry, Her answer didn't refer to any one thing, but to a particular group of people.
My biggest challenge was women who were in the game. Even before the set of women that you all see publicly, trying to bring me down, there were others before they came. There were others before, and from I came out, they were just at me. Like, there was a time, you remember when I did take my money, take my friends, take my houses, I don't need my bands. You know how much years that song was done? Maybe that was like, 15 years by now or more. There was other women. That was a song where I wanted to walk away so bad because of the same. So even though there wasn't a lot of social media,
yes,
people were there fighting me and trying to mix me up in gossip and mix up just because of my talent. So
yes.
that was it. Just women who wanted me out.
Even though she never married, Marion was engaged twice to music producer Lloyd John James Jr. in their tumultuous 18-year common-law relationship. She ultimately ended things for good amid recurring infidelity, as well as a very public reveal of a child he produced with another woman. The next time she was seen cozied up with a man was in 2020, when she shared a photo of herself with a mystery man on her Instagram. Rumors would later swirl that they were married, which she never directly addressed. Instead, she made a casual statement about being divorced during one of her online sermons. In that same 2021 interview, she had this to say about her past relationships and what she thinks the future holds.
I tell you this, I have this loving heart, and I never chose right. I can never choose a man. I'm married to Jesus because whenever I'm with somebody else, they break my heart. But God said he'll never leave me or forsake me, and he never will. He will never hurt me. He said, I know the plans that I have for you. And he said, they're good plans. They're not plans to hurt you, manipulate you, embarrass you. When God used me, I give him praise. Men use me, but they use me in ways that will not glorify God, but they use me so to embarrass me, to belittle me.
While she also never had any biological offspring, she did go on to adopt 3 children. Even though Marion is done with the past, fans will still need to accept that even as a Christian, she will continue to DJ. She drew mixed reactions to her 2023 Groovin' in the Park performance, where she freestyled something that sounded like a clean version of dancehall music. However, having returned to the world of performing for the first time that year, she says she wasn't fazed by critics who accused her of still entertaining with secular music, telling TVJ's Anthony Miller, DJing is part of her personality, even when she has walked away from the raunchy music. You know what? You can't take that away from me. I tell people I am heart. I am reggae, I am dancehall, I'm hip-hop, I'm rock, I'm funk, I'm everything. She said she's led by the Spirit, and she has been directed to quit some shows and attend others. She added that even though she'll never perform her old songs again, she isn't passing up the royalties. Then, on June 13th, 2024, Lady Saw came back. Well, sort of. Marion announced on her Instagram to listen out for her new dancehall single called "The Way How Me Love You," which would first be released on her new Facebook page. Just a few days prior, she said that she was about to make some of the hardest decisions she'd ever made in her life, which might take her back to a place where she never dreamed of going back, but seemed to be heading back there. The year before, Marion headlined the final night of Reggae Sumfest and delivered a gospel-laced dancehall set which drew both praise and criticism. It was her first time performing at the music festival since 2015. Currently, she continues to conduct worship services at her church in Tamarack, Florida, Holy Ghost Pentecostal Church of Jesus Christ. She's also working on a podcast. Whether known as Marion Hall or Lady Saw, it can never be denied that the former Queen of Dancehall paved the way for many female artists from Jamaica, and her legacy remains untouchable.